censorship is being weaponized by governments to control narratives. They're using a lot of scare tactics in order to convince the population that it's in their best interest. It isn't just in the countries that you'd expect. It is in Western democracies. Freedom of speech should be a fundamental human right. I just don't understand why the government is making this decision when it should be up to parents whether their children go on social media. Is TikTok directing propaganda our way, getting us to think in a certain way? Absolutely. But is every other social media platform doing this also? Absolutely. Everyone is trying to hijack our attention. Banning TikTok isn't going to save us.
On this episode of The Stream, we look at a year of online censorship and whether the internet can and will ever be free. Nikat Dad there saying governments are weaponizing internet shutdowns across the world. Naomi, I'd like your take on this.
I absolutely agree. I do think that censorship is being weaponized by governments. They're using very cushy phrases. They're using a lot of scare tactics in order to convince the population that it's in their best interest. But the end result is that individuals are having their voices shut down, and entire countries are being stopped from participating in global conversations because their governments have decided that they're not allowed to participate. Freedom of speech should be a fundamental human right. I think that we should fight for the global ability for people to participate in conversations. And I think that we shouldn't buy into these narratives that this is for our own protection. I think that if there are bad ideas out there that we want shut down, we should combat them with better ideas, not with censorship. And that's the only way to have a flourishing democracy and a flourishing free society. Internet freedom is really going down as governments realize that this is a weapon that they can use to control narratives. And it's a very blunt weapon as well that stops everyone from speaking their mind. And you also mentioned, we've got government doing censorship, but we've got private platforms doing censorship. But I would argue that they're very much intertwined these days. When you have governments that can put pressure on platforms and they can, intimidate them, they can somewhat covertly coerce them into doing things by threatening them with antitrust lawsuits or any number of violations. You see that a lot of these platforms are simply complying. It's in their best interest, otherwise they will get shut down. So I definitely see this as very much a government-led effort across the world, governments using this to control speech within their countries. And it isn't just in the countries that you'd expect. It is in Western democracies where we say that we have free speech, but time and time again, we see people just be shut down for their viewpoints. And I think it's a really dangerous direction that we're headed in.
2024 was also the year that saw TikTok under a lot of pressure. Canada ordered it to shut down. In the US, users could be barred from accessing the app from January. TikTok has 170 million active users in the US. Nearly 40% of adults under 30 say they get their news on TikTok. More than 7 million small businesses use it. But lawmakers from both sides say it's a major threat to the nation. TikTok is a gun aimed at Americans' heads. Is it?
I have a lot of issue with this. It's probably a more nuanced take. If we address the question of is TikTok directing propaganda our way, getting us to think in a certain way? Is it being hijacked to change the way we think about certain issues, who we vote for? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's doing all of those things. So I think people are right to be concerned that this platform is a dangerous tool that is very secretly changing our minds when we may not even realize it. But is every other social media platform doing this also? Yes, absolutely. And so politicians, they start rampaging against TikTok, saying that this is this unique case, and if we just ban TikTok, then we've saved the internet and we can no longer be led astray when it comes to what we think, because we'll only have pure sources. And it's just absolutely not true. So the conversation needs to zoom out, and we need to be aware that everyone is trying to hijack our attention. And it's not just social media. It's when we use Google. What sort of search results are put at the very top of the search page? All of these things are hijacked. We do know that there are profiles made about us basically by data brokers who are collecting every single part of our digital trail on the internet. They're selling this, and what they're selling is our attention. This is not just being sent to consumer products to sell us a new pair of shoes. It's being sent to people and sold to people who do want to change our minds about topics. So we need to understand that this problem is across all of the internet and just be more discerning about what we consume and not take everything at face value. Banning TikTok isn't going to save us.
On the other side of the world, I would say, Australia, they're planning on banning children from under the age of 16, anyone aged 16 and under, from creating accounts on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, citing children's safety. Many people are questioning that, saying that's not exactly what's happening. Your take, Naomi, briefly on this. What have you concluded from this debate? Is it to help protect children?
It's never to help protect children. And even if it were, let's think about the apparatus that would have to be put in place in order to enforce this. You are asking all users of the internet to hand over government IDs in order to use different platforms. That creates huge vulnerability because now social media companies have giant databases filled with people's information, and we know that they can't protect them. There are data breaches every single day. And there's a great quote from the former president of Cisco who said there are two types of companies in the world, those that have been hacked and those that don't yet realize they have been hacked. So to create this treasure trove and make people more vulnerable is dangerous. But then once you have that list, it's only a matter of time before they start adding more things to it. What is the next objectionable content that people aren't allowed to look at? It becomes very easy to just add things to that list once we've set it up. So I just think that it's really dangerous. I think it disenfranchises young people. It means that they can no longer participate in global conversations, which I don't think is good for society at all. I mean, I just don't understand why the government is making this decision when it should be up to parents whether their children go on social media.
Thank you so much for being part of the stream today.